Hello. Today we are going to talk about psychological effects. The first psychological effect will be ambiguity. The psychological effect of ambiguity occurs when information or a situation can be perceived or interpreted in different ways, ambiguously. This means that a person can have different interpretations or understandings of the same object or event, which can cause confusion, misunderstanding, or uncertainty. Examples of ambiguity include optical illusions. If an object or image can be perceived differently depending on the viewpoint or perspective, it can create ambiguity. Linguistic sources. Some words or phrases can have multiple meanings or be interpreted differently depending on the context. Social situations. Situations where a person's behavior or motives can be perceived in different ways can also create ambiguity. Music, art, and literature, works of art or musical compositions that leave room for interpretation or may have multiple layers of meaning can also create ambiguity. The next psychological effect will be TETRIS. The TETRIS psychological effect is a phenomenon found in research that shows that playing Tetris can have a positive impact on a person's mental state. This effect was first identified in the work of psychologist Jane McGonigal in 1994. The main aspects of the psychological effect of Tetris include distraction from stress, playing. Tetris can help a person distract from stress and negative thoughts. Concentrating on the game helps to forget about problems and focus on the task at hand. Reducing anxiety. A study has shown that playing Tetris can reduce a person's anxiety levels. Concentrating on the game and being successful in the task can help reduce anxiety. Improved mood. Interacting with the game, enjoying the satisfaction of success in the game, and experiencing positive emotions can improve mood. Reducing the impact of potentially traumatic events. Some studies have shown that playing Tetris can help reduce the impact of potentially traumatic events on a person's mental state. The next psychological effect will be FLYNN. The psychological FLYNN effect, sometimes also known as the FLYNN phenomenon or Flynn's law, is the observation that average intelligence quotient, IQ, values in a population increase over time. This effect got its name from Professor James R. Flynn, who first described it in 1987. The main features of the FLYNN psychological effect: the growth of average IQ. Studies show that average IQ values in different countries of the world increase over time. This effect has been noticeable for decades and is observed in different groups of people. The effect of cognitive skills. The psychological FLYNN effect does not just reflect changes in IQ test scores, but also indicates an increase in cognitive skills in the population. This may be due to improved education, access to information, technological development, and other factors. The effect of the socio-cultural environment. Some researchers point to the importance of the socio-cultural environment in shaping the psychological FLYNN effect. Changes in cultural, social, and economic conditions can affect people's cognitive development and influence the growth of average IQ. The next psychological effect will be boomerang. The psychological boomerang effect is a phenomenon when an attempt to influence another person or group of people leads to unforeseen results that may contradict expectations or even oppose the original goals. The main features of the psychological boomerang effect. Contradiction of expectations. Attempts to influence the behavior or opinions of others can have unexpected or undesirable consequences that contradict previous expectations. For example, trying to persuade someone may strengthen their position or cause hostility. Loss of control. The psychological boomerang effect can lead to a loss of control, especially if attempts to influence others fail or have unintended consequences. Intensification of confrontation. In some cases, attempts to influence others can cause confrontation or resistance, leading to the strengthening of opposing positions. Increased influence. On the other hand, the boomerang effect can be useful in certain situations, amplifying the influence or strengthening the position of those who have tried to influence others. The next psychological effect will be dollar. The psychological dollar effect, sometimes known as the money effect, refers to the phenomenon where the presence or mention of money influences human decisions, behavior, and perceptions. This effect is studied in various fields such as economics, psychology, and marketing. The main features of this effect include the following: motivational influence. The psychological dollar effect can cause a change in an individual's motivation and priorities. People may be more inclined to take certain actions or decisions when they imagine them in the context of money. Rationalization effect. The presence of money can contribute to people's tendency to rationalize their decisions or actions by trying to find a logical explanation for their actions, which may be linked to financial benefits. Increased risk-taking. One of the characteristics of the psychological dollar effect is an increase in people's risk-taking propensity when money or material benefits are involved. Influence on perception. The presence of money can affect the perception of others. For example, people may perceive others as more important or competent if they believe they are rich or successful. The next psychological effect will be CRESPI. The psychological CRESPI effect, sometimes known as the Sherlock Holmes effect or the hyperbolic discounting effect, occurs in situations where people overly trust their memory and believe that they can reproduce information or events accurately, even if they do not. The name of this effect comes from the case when, in 1999, the Italian artist Giovanni Crespi lost his art in his own city and then returned it to him, as he believed, by accident, after finding it in Milan. The main aspects of Crespi's psychological effect include the following: overconfidence in memory. People may overly trust their memory and believe that they can accurately reproduce information or events they have observed before. Underestimation of errors. Due to the Crespi effect, people may underestimate the possibility of errors in their memory and believe that they never make mistakes in their memories. Impact on decisions and perceptions. This effect can affect a person's decisions and perception of the world. For example, people may make decisions based on their memories of past events, even if those memories are not accurate.